It's not a war, it's a conflict. Apparently, this is the new Maga talking point about Trump and Iran. And I have to admit, I love it because apparently, if President Trump and his administration call something a conflict, then it is a conflict. No question asked, the president has spoken, the administration has spoken, and suddenly millions of people become international law experts overnight. It's not war. Why? Because nobody declared war. Oh, well, that settles it then. Except there is one tiny problem. That's not how modern international law works. First of all, what is a conflict? A conflict is a simple clash between two sides. It can be political, economical, social, diplomatic, or military. So, conflict is actually the broader term. But when two countries start using military force against each other, we're talking about an armed conflict. And here's where it gets interesting. Under the international humanitarian law, you do not need a formal declaration of war for an international armed conflict to exist. And before somebody comments, fake news, let's look at the Geneva Convention. You know, those Geneva Conventions that the United States itself signed in 1949 and ratified in 1955. Common Article 2 explicitly says that the convention applies to cases of declared war or any other armed conflict between two or more states that are parties to the convention. Let me repeat that, because apparently the word "or" is doing some very heavy lifting today. Declared war or any other armed conflict. So even the Geneva Convention, signed and ratified by the United States, explicitly recognized that an armed conflict can exist without a formal declaration of war. But maybe Geneva forgot to check with the White House first. Because according to this logic, governments have discovered the greatest legal trick in human history. You can bomb another country, launch missiles, attack military targets, kill enemy soldiers, and when somebody asks, are we at war? Just say, no, this is just a conflict. Oh, my mistake, carry on. Apparently, war is no longer determined by what countries actually do, it's determined by the vocabulary itself. Now, there is a serious question here. Did Trump have the constitutional authority to use military force against Iran without the Congress formally declaring war? That is a legitimate legal and political debate, and people can disagree about it, but that is not the same question as is this a war? Because the United States hasn't formally declared war since World War II. So following this Maga dictionary, America apparently hasn't fought a war since 1945. Vietnam, conflict. Afghanistan, conflict. Iraq, conflict. Just a few misunderstandings involving tanks, fighter jets, missiles, and hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Nothing to see here. And look, you can support Trump, you can oppose Trump, you can believe the military action against Iran was justified, you can believe it was a terrible mistake. That's politics. Debate it. But please, don't tell me it's not a war, it's a conflict. Just because Trump or someone in his administration used that word. Politicians can choose their words. They don't get to choose the meaning of the words. And if two countries are exchanging military forces, calling it a conflict doesn't magically make it something other than the war. It just gives the war a better PR.